Hello, friends. Today we'll be talking about relationships, the beauty and the aspect of being in a relationship. It's a wonderful feeling. It's not just a feeling. It's a beautiful knowing that somebody loves you, that somebody cares for you, that somebody's out there watching out for you. And I want you to know that everybody is in a relationship with somebody. But then today we want to talk about the depth of a relationship with God. Why is it so important to relate with God? Why is it a necessity to be in love with the Master? Listen, God says in His Word that He is our groom and we are His bride. In another extent, if I may relate this to my relationship, my love relationship, I would say that I will do anything for the person I love. I will go to some very hard edges to protect the person I love, to care for them, to supply for them. This is the same thing that God would do for you. I mean, He went to the extreme, to the most extreme point of sending His own Son, in other words, sending Himself to die for you. I want you to understand that a relationship is a point of understanding between two people. It is a sympathy on somebody. It is love for something. It is just an amazing time that you spend with God in Himself. Listen here, I was looking at a man that had a beautiful relationship with God. That man is David. He has written something in the book of Psalms 34, verse 4. He said, I sought the Lord, and He answered me. He delivered me from all my fears. I prayed to the Lord. He answered me. He delivered me from all. When you're in a relationship, sometimes you fear rejection. Sometimes you fear that maybe I'm giving myself too much. I'm wearing my heart on my sleeves here. Maybe this person will hurt me. But David said, I sought the Lord, I gave myself up to Him, and He delivered me from all my fears. Being in love with God, being out for God, caring for His purpose on earth that He has given you. Remember, in here at Righteous Minds, we believe that everybody has a specific purpose. You will not go to hell if you do not accomplish your purpose, but then your life will be just as hell if you don't live a life of purpose. You won't be satisfied. There's no zeal to you. You are not waking up in the morning with a fire in your soul. God has given each and every one of us a specific purpose to do His will at the right time. Now, I want to dive right into this message on relationship. It's a privilege of the righteous to have a relationship with God. It's not given to everybody. Because for you to relate with God, you need to have God in you. You need to have the mind of God. That is why it's written in the Word that let this mind that is in Christ Jesus be also in you. Who knows the heart of man but He Himself? Therefore, we know the heart of God because we have His Spirit in us. Listen, I just took these two verses to try and make you understand that in the Bible, a relationship with God is very important for you to live a supernatural life, for you to experience the mind of God, the righteous mind, of course. Of course. In a relationship you give, God gives, and you give too. You can't be in a relationship where you're the only one that is giving or God is the only one that is giving. Even in a worldly relationship, in the sense of a marriage or dating, if I'm the only one that is giving, I'm going to give up on you soon. I'll stop giving you because, well, what am I benefiting of this? What is benefiting me? A relationship like that will not last unless, of course, you've been bewitched. You are in a relationship, you're the one that gives, you never get, you get tired, okay? Brothers, are you hearing me? I want you to look with me at this for a little bit, okay? Listen, it might not sit well with people when you tell them that you need to be all out there, you need to give, you need to show affection. If you want to be loved, then show some affection. If you want to be trusted, trust. If you want to be cared for, care. I mean, do unto another as you wish it will be done unto you. This is how relationship lasts. This is how it continues. This is how God keeps. That's why God says, seek me, because he has sought you, he found you. Now it's time that you seek him and that you may find him. In times it is hard. I wrote something. He said, in times of hardship and strain, we tend to lose focus on what is important and necessary. A deep relationship with God is necessary. It is the only thing that really matters, and it is the one thing, it is the one relationship that causes every other relationship to blossom. I say this to every woman and man out there. If the person you love has no relationship with God, they don't know how to love you properly, the correct way. You can't be in a love relationship with somebody and they don't know God. It's very hard on you because this person does not know the truth of love, because love is a person and that name is Jesus Christ. Every relationship needs maintenance from both parties to be equally crazy. Whether it's between siblings or lovers, we need to understand each other. How do we maintain a relationship? Number one, communication. I quoted this verse earlier on from the book of 1 Corinthians 2:11. It says that, for who knows a person's thoughts except their own spirit within them? In the same way, no one knows the thought of God except the spirit of God. So it is in knowing what the other person thinks that we can understand or be outstanding in their lives. Whether you choose to remain on God's side and agenda or not, it is very dependent that you know him and that you know what he wants from you. Okay? Now you might ask, how does God speak to me? And how does God relate with me? I mean, is it invisible? Is almighty? How do I hear from God? As a believer, as a Christian, I want my relationship with God to last. Okay, it's very simple. Once you have the Spirit of God in you, it's written in the book of Isaiah that you shall hear a word, and that word will be coming behind your ear, telling you, go left, go right, do this, do that. In that manner of living, that is how God speaks to you. God speaks to your heart. God speaks to you through dreams and meanings. God speaks to you through, when you pray, you have a knowing in your heart, a conviction that something has happened. These are very small touches of how God speaks to us, okay? And it's a relationship, and with time, the more time that you spend praying, the more time that you spend seeking God, you will start having particular ways in which he speaks to you personally. When you first believed in God, you decided to love him for real. You had your visions, your dreams. Sometimes you heard him through your mind. Okay? That is from experience. I've seen a lot talking to, not just talking, mentoring people. I've seen that in them. When you believe in God, their spiritual eyes are open, their ears are open. They can prophesy, they speak in different diverse tongues. These are all privileges of being totally surrendered to God. But then as time goes by, God is a God that wants to be sought. In Psalms 34 verse 8, we say that all taste and see that the Lord is good. So we tasted, we saw that God was good in all his doing. All that mattered to you was for you to be in the refuge that is God. In a relationship, people don't change, you discover them. The same way with God, we discover him. God is a hiding God. In Proverbs 25 verse 2, it is the glory of God to conceal a matter. To search out a matter is the glory of a king. So another verse says that Isaiah 8:17 says, I will wait for the Lord who is hiding his face from the descendants of Jacob. I will put my trust in him. Listen, God hiding, I mean, for me personally, I really don't like it. It's one of God's characters well, they don't sit well with me. But the truth is, he's a hiding God. And why does he hide? So that you may level up. You may level up in your belief. You may level up in your conviction. You may level up in your trust. in God, that you may increase. That's what happens in a relationship. You discover a person. At first, they were all wonderful and beautiful, but the more you spend time with them, like, I didn't know that about you. God is like that. God wants you to be exactly like Him. So He hides that you may seek Him, that you may grow onto a stature and a level that He is at, that you may increase your frequency to manifest things on the earth. Because He says in His Word that ye are God. You are God, right where you are. Can you say with me? I'm God. I'm God. I'm not the God, but I'm God. Now, He does that to elevate us, okay? He's a wonderful God. I really love Him. A second point in maintaining relationship is priority. Do you prioritize God? Do you prioritize time with God? Do you prioritize loving God? Do you prioritize God? That's a very hard question. In Exodus 20 verse 3 says, you shall have no other God than me. I don't want to be in a relationship where there is me, my wife, and her friend who gives her advice concerning me or how to maintain me, or there's me, my wife, and parents that are controlling how our relationship is maintained. Okay, that doesn't work, doesn't sit well with me. That just to be honest. So the same thing with God. You will not have another God but me. You will not love anybody else but me. I'm your God. You are mine. I'm your husband. You are mine. That is how it should be. Now, I want to read something for you. In a fruitful relationship, you tend to see a bit more of yourself in the people you relate with. Students begin to speak like their teachers, couples look and sound alike. The list goes on. Really, all this is due to priority. I have you and you alone all to myself. You're my best friend, my advisor, you my pillow to cry on, my hiding place. You are my peace. Before you, I have no other. This is something I tell God oftentimes. Wouldn't you agree that if you apply this kind of approach to your relationship with God, you'd be a very happy person because He knows that you don't have any other way to go. You don't have any other place to go. So it's me or nobody else. Nobody else does it for me. Nobody does it for me. My God does it for me. If you put me first, I'll put you first. You know that mentality doesn't work very well because it always tends to hurt the person that says that. If you put me first, I'll put you first. If you prioritize me, I'll prioritize you. God prioritizes you. In return, you prioritize Him. But then you want God, you want God to prioritize you. You want to feel Him the way that you feel your friends. No, this doesn't work. It's a spiritual relationship. There are certain things that He prioritizes you to that you may never know until Judgment Day. So prioritize God. Put Him first. Love Him. Evangelize. Put that word out. Put that song out. Make that video. Inspire somebody. Create that brand. Okay? Make it happen in God's name. I pray for you that God may open your eyes, that you may begin to see things the way that He has set them up for you to do the right thing at the right time for the right reasons, because He sees the heart and not the doings. I pray that the manifested hand of God may rest upon you for you to accomplish your purpose in these days and time in your relationship with God. I pray in the name of Jesus Christ that you live a life full of grace and abundance. Put God first and you will see things will change. In Psalms 84, 5 to 7 says, blessed are those whose strength is in you, whose hearts are set on pilgrimages. As they pass through the valley of Baca, they make it a place of springs. The autumn rains also covers it with pillows. They go from strength to strength till each appears before God in Zion. Blessed are those whose strength is in you. You are blessed because your strength is in God. You are blessed because you love the Lord. You are blessed because you find your stability in God. You go from glory to glory. It prioritizes you because you prioritize Him. With God, just like in any human relationship, if you treat a man like a king, he will not rule over you, but he will rule with you. Treat God like the king and he will rule with you. Now, there are more points that I would like to share with you on how to maintain relationships, but I think these two that are given will really help you to increase your love time, your relationship, your intimacy time with God. And you may also apply this in your love relationship. And I mean this for people who want to get married or something like that. Not something like that. You want to get married, okay? Be serious, get serious with your life, get serious with God because God is a serious God. Dating 5, 10 girls is not the righteous way. It's not the right thing to do. Do it correctly, do it with God, do it with the help of God. He is a just God. And I want you to be blessed by this. And I want to give you a verse that you may go and study after this. Isaiah 54 verse 5. It talks about the relationship that God considers you as his very own pride and joy. Be blessed.